So we've talked about the scariest episode and the creepiest episode of Adventure Time, and also the Minecraft episode. But today, I'm here to elaborate on what just might be the weirdest episode of Adventure Time ever. Will I ever run out of video title ideas for this series? Probably. What's up, everybody? I'm back once again to dive into another Adventure Time episode, this time revolving around a horse. Not that horse. We're going to talk about him later down the road. I'm talking, of course, about this horse. Yeah, look at me with your big stinky eyes, buddy. Yes, I'm talking about the Season 2 episode, The Eyes, which was released on October 18th, 2010, was directed by Larry Leichleiter, I don't know, and was written and storyboarded by Kent Osborne, Sam Ville, and Zayaphone. Now, calling this episode the weirdest isn't meant to be a negative attack on the episode itself or anything, as opposed to a positive attack. I love The Eyes. In fact, I think it's actually a very funny episode, but that horse made me very uncomfortable as a child, and I know that it made some of you a bit uneasy as well, at least until the very end of the episode, which we'll get to, spoiler alert. So we're just gonna dive into the plot of the episode and just talk about what's good about it. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Our tale commences at the treehouse, where Finn and Jake appear exceptionally weary after a thrilling 7 consecutive days filled with heroic adventures. Their endeavors encompassed a wide range of activities, including rescuing princesses, vanquishing dragons, partying, removing goblins, averting volcanic disasters, apprehending criminals, and even feeding ducks. Now let me tell you guys something, I'm no expert in mathematics. I failed math in high school, but 7 is a pretty big number. I find it inconceivable to stay awake for more than 16 hours a day unless confronted with exceptional circumstances that prevent me from sleeping. The fact that Finn and Jake have managed to remain awake for a continuous week is truly mind-boggling. Nevertheless, it is high time for the duo to embrace a restful evening, allowing them to unwind, recharge their energy, and prepare for yet another exhilarating day of pursuing their whims, desires, and crushing enemies harder than goth girls crush bugs with their 2 feet tall platform boots. That's not a dig at anyone, by the way. I like those boots a lot. It's just a metaphor. Oh, Jesus Christ. Amidst the snowy peaks, their haven serene, Finn and Jake, in slumber's embrace, convene. With the lights dimmed low and silence profound, they surrender to dreams, their minds unbound. But wait, a restlessness stirs within Finn's core, their tranquil repose shattered by an unknown lure. Awake they remain, sleep eluding their eyes, for a fucking horse with haunting gaze under moonlit skies. Its presence unnerving, a watcher in the night. Finn and Jake's unease casts a ghostly light. No lullabies soothe, no comforts they find, as the horse's gaze holds them in a bind. In the stillness of their treehouse abode, an eerie specter disrupts their sleep's ode. Wide awake they remain, thoughts in a whirl, for the horse's presence has unfurled. Is that a word? Unfurled? Unflurred? I don't even know how you say that. I've never seen that word before in my life. Together they brace for adventure anew. In the face of the unknown, they'll pursue. With hearts unyielding and courage held high, Finn and Jake shall conquer the horse's eye. Okay, let me try and dial back the poetic crap real quick. Finn and Jake attempt to find rest in their beds, but are unable to shake off a disturbing sensation that they are being observed. To their astonishment, their instincts prove accurate when they glance out their window and spot a creepy-looking horse with enormous eyes fixated on them. What are you looking at, cuz? You got a staring problem or something? You want to go, boy? The boys are super uncomfortable by the sight of the horse and refuse to sleep until that creepy little animal goes away. So they try to close the blinds in hopes that blocking the sight of the horse will help aid in their sleep, but sadly, the moon exists. The moon rises behind the horse, casting a shadow inside the treehouse, which scares Finn. Jake suggests forcibly pushing the horse off the hill, but Finn prefers a gentler approach, opting to politely ask the horse to leave, as if a horse could understand what go away means. Finn's concern for the horse's well-being is understandable though, as he doesn't want to cause it any harm. They step outside and confront the horse, making their request, but the horse responds in a way it just makes me feel incredibly uncomfortable and unnerved. Blink, motherfucker, blink! After Finn's polite approach proves unsuccessful, they decide to give Jake's idea a try, forcefully pushing the horse off the hill and back to hell where it came from. However, their efforts are in vain as the horse remains stubbornly unmoved. What is this horse even made of? Bricks? In a display of extraordinary power, Jake enlarges himself, lifts the horse, and carries it to a distant location. A distant land, if you will. Haha. They believe they have finally rid themselves of the horse problem, but to their dismay, the horse returns, seemingly unaffected. Growing increasingly frustrated, Jake attempts to obstruct the horse's vision by placing a blindfold over its eyes. Yet, this tactic also proves ineffective. Good God, would you put those things back in your head, boy? Jake engages in a verbal confrontation with the horse while Finn humorously diagnoses the horse with poo brain. To resolve the situation, Finn proposes the idea of using music to lure the horse away, as he believes that everyone without a brain is drawn to music. Wait a stupid second here. I guess that means the idiots who make music also don't have a brain, right? Hey, make sure you guys check out my band's brand new album, Disappointment. It's on Spotify, Apple Music. You can get it everywhere. Shameless plug. If you don't have a brain, you might like it. So Jake grabs his viola, begins to play, and walks away from the horse in hopes that the horse will follow, but the horse doesn't move a muscle. Instead, Jake's playing attracts an army of snakes. In a surprising turn, Jake eventually proposes the drastic measure of killing the horse, which initially sounds outrageous, but considering the circumstances, it becomes somewhat understandable. The constant lack of sleep can make individuals restless and easily prone to frustration. I mean, just imagine the level of irritation and exhaustion these two must be experiencing after staying awake for 7 consecutive days with minimal rest. Unfortunately, Finn's rationality remains intact as he firmly opposes the idea of killing the horse. This prompts Jake to come up with yet another unconventional solution, dressing up the horse as a bunny with the intention of luring a giant hawk to attack and potentially eliminate the horse. It's pretty evident that Jake's state of mind is deteriorating. Initially skeptical, Finn is eventually convinced by Jake's persuasion. Jake explains that instead of harming the horse, the hawk will actually carry it away to a place filled with sunshine and love and happiness, effectively taking care of it. This explanation sways Finn, and he reluctantly agrees to the plan. So the boys dress the horse up as a bunny and shout to the sky in order to attract a giant hawk, and surprisingly, it works. 2 hawks land on the horse, peck the snot out of Finn and Jake, and make off with the horse. Finn and Jake race back home to their cozy beds and rest, knowing that the horse is gone forever and that they would never cross paths with it again. End of the episode. Oh, come on, really? So those hawks, or as Mr. Lakey likes to say,
big dirty shithawks,
drop the horse into Finn and Jake's bedroom. Finn and Jake begin to turn on each other, blaming each other for the horse's presence until they eventually realize that the horse is tearing them apart. They hug out their issues and Jake says the unthinkable. This horse is bringing us together now. This horse is a blessing. At this point, you can really tell that Jake is losing his mind from a lack of sleep and can't even think straight anymore. Finn finally grows some nuts and kicks that horse right in the ass, which unexpectedly spits out none other than the Ice King. Wow, what a shocker, right? As it turns out, the horse was a costume, and the Ice King was using it to spy on Finn and Jake. But why though? Well, after a ferocious battle featuring snakes, kicks, and ice, we learn that the Ice King isn't doing too hot. Apparently, he's not super happy. Whenever he notices Finn and Jake though, they always seem happy and alive. So the Ice King disguised himself as a horse in order to observe and learn from the happiest people in Ooh how to be happy as well. Unfortunately, the Ice King's story behind his motive was too boring for Finn and Jake to bear as they both decide to crash on top of him. Luckily for the Ice King, he finally learns that the best way to be happy is to get a good night's rest. So he snuggles up with the boys, closes his eyes, and says goodbye to this weird episode with one final line.
I'm still not happy.
And that was the episode. The episode The Eyes was a genuine delight, showcasing how a straightforward idea can transform into a highly entertaining experience. It's really surprising how an episode centered around Finn and Jake's sleep troubles caused by a peculiar horse with a staring problem could evolve into becoming one of my personal favorites. And I'm sure a lot of you guys really enjoyed The Eyes as well. The storytelling of the episode is fantastic, along with the humor as well. Learning that Jake sleeps in the nude despite being nude almost all of the time is such a hilarious bit of information, although it sort of contradicts what Jake said in the episode Donnie, where he mentions that he sleeps in invisible pants. Then again, a lot of the information and events from seasons 1 and 2 were silently retconned by the creators. Now, I'd like to discuss a noteworthy aspect of The Eyes. It incorporates a concept that originated from the previously discarded episode Brothers in Insomnia, which I briefly mentioned in my Adventure Time Iceberg video, specifically in the entry scrapped episodes. For those of you who don't already know or have not seen the Adventure Time Iceberg, Brothers in Insomnia was an unproduced episode of Adventure Time that was planned early during Season 1. The storyboard was later released on Frederator's blog. The synopsis for the episode states the following. Finn and Jake return home exhausted and try to get to sleep. Then they hear sounds that lead them to a miniature village under the roots of their tree fort. However, to fit inside, Jake has to shrink to a tiny size, while Finn could only fit his hand inside. They attempt to save the Dewdrop people that live there from a root monster, but are hindered by the fact that Jake's too tired to keep his shape, while Finn is distracted by cows licking him. The concept being reused from Brothers in Insomnia is the fact that Finn and Jake return home and are exhausted but can't sleep due to a disturbance of some kind. However, in The Eyes, the source of disturbance deviates from the original concept. Rather than tiny sounds from a threatened village beneath the tree fort, caused by a root monster, it's the Ice King donning a horse costume and engaging in creepy behavior. It's also worth mentioning that the premise of Brothers in Insomnia is also very similar to that of the episode Little Brother. The only real change being that instead of Finn and Jake being the main focus, it focuses on Shelby and his brother. Some other cool pieces of trivia with this episode are number 1. This is the last appearance of Lumpy Space King and Queen before their redesign in the episode The Monster. It's also revealed that some classical music still exists in the land of Ooo, like Beethoven and Mozart, or as Jake likes to say, Beethoven and Mozart. Certain lines from this episode were also censored in a couple of different countries. The line, "Pooh Brain means we can lure it away with music," was changed to, "It means we can lure it away with music" in Australia. And the line, "Everything brainless loves music," was changed to, "Everything loves music" in Australia and in the Philippines. All in all, The Eyes is a weirdly great episode. Let me know in the comments below if you guys were also weirded out by this horse growing up. Now, I present you guys with a question. Which other Adventure Time episodes would you like me to explore in future videos? Alternatively, is there a particular episode from another show that you would like me to discuss? Feel free to share your thoughts and suggestions in the comment section below. But if you guys did enjoy this Adventure Time video, then do me a favor and leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're brand new around here. Click the bell icon to be notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. Follow me on all of my social links and join my Discord server. Links in the bio below. Have a great day, everyone. And remember that horses are weird.